Hi, welcome to Peak Moment. I'm Janaea Donaldson, and my guests today are in the less than 0.5% of Nevada County who are growing food for us. But first, let's have energy news with Rick.
Thanks, Janaea. Let's start with a little bit of good news. Reported by Reuters news agency, the mild winter has so far eased the cost of heating here this year. The average for those who heat with natural gas was up 17% this year, which isn't good news, but not as bad as the 48% increase predicted last fall. Heating oil costs were up 16% compared to an expected 30%, while electricity costs were up 7%, slightly more than the estimated 5% increase. The Anchorage Daily News reports that many Native Alaskans are leaving their rural villages. This is partly attributed to rapidly increasing gas and heating costs as high as $6 a gallon. The trend started back in the 90s when the salmon and timber industries crashed, forcing many to seek work elsewhere. With dwindling populations in the remote villages, schools and community services are shutting down or cutting back, causing more residents to leave their villages in favor of the larger cities. This could be an early warning sign for us all. As fuel and energy costs increase, we will likely see the same kind of migration in the lower 48 states too. Reported in the Houston Chronicle, Russia has approved a 2,550-mile oil pipeline through Siberia that travels within a half mile of Lake Baikal, the world's largest freshwater lake. Environmentalists are concerned that a rupture or leak could cause devastating ecological damage to the lake, but the Russian government is eager to provide the $11 billion pipeline to enable sales of oil to China, Japan, and South Korea. Wind power is becoming more popular worldwide. The Global Wind Energy Council reports a record year for wind power, seeing a 43% increase this year. Over 11 gigawatts of wind power was installed in 2005 worldwide. Germany, Spain, and the United States were among the top 3 countries of installed wind power, with the U.S. being first in new installations for 2005. Worldwide, there is now almost 60 gigawatts of installed wind power. Here's a good example from Vermont. Central Vermont Public Service has entered into a 20-year contract with Glebe Mountain Wind Energy to buy all the power from the Londonderry, Vermont's 47.5 megawatt project, enough for about 21,000 local Vermont homes. The project will start in 2007. This is a great example of a local utility working with a local renewable energy provider to create community-based power systems. A recent report from grist.com says that while the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge appears safe from drilling for the near future, things aren't as good for the outer continental shelf 300 to 200 miles offshore. Members of Congress and the Bush administration are pushing a number of bills that would open up offshore drilling off of many coastal states in the Gulf of Mexico and here in California too. Our senators and members of the House are working to stop offshore drilling off of California, but there are many in Congress who are working to end the long-standing moratoriums against offshore drilling, thought to be very dangerous to the environment by many environmental groups who are also opposing it. In international news, it appears that many countries are starting to be concerned for their own energy needs as a policy matter. First, from the Canadian Broadcasting Company, Canada is considering a new energy policy that would take their energy needs first before honoring NAFTA or other trade agreements. They see their gas and oil supplies dwindling, and they don't want to be, quote, the first to likely freeze in the dark, unquote. Reported in both the Moscow Times and Financial Times, members of the European Union are working to create a strategic policy that would stabilize their energy systems and their contractual agreements with Russia to prevent price shocks and energy shortages. In an article from China View, however, the Netherlands is not willing to be involved in any of the reported European Union negotiations involving their natural gas resources. They feel they should be in control of their own energy resources. It appears that as worldwide energy resources dwindle, more countries will be considering their own interests first and negotiating with others as if their very lives depend on it, and maybe it will. From the People's Daily Online, China is enforcing new energy efficiency standards in urban construction. New construction will be required to use 50% less energy overall and 65% less energy in Beijing, Shanghai, Tianjin, Chongqing, and other major urban centers. The Washington Post reports that Japan is working very hard to save fuel as well. In one small town, the heating system for the town hall was turned off. Nationwide, the citizens are even required to turn off their engines at stoplights. In summer, the air conditioners are set to 82 degrees. The government there has a target of reducing energy use by 63% by 2008 by implementing a wide variety of energy-saving programs, including hybrid cars and energy-efficient appliances and office equipment. Japan now uses half the power per capita of the United States and is second only to Germany in use of solar power. That's all the news we have for now, so back to Janaea and her guests.
Thanks, Rick. It's encouraging to hear how different countries are responding and different localities, and we're a part of that picture. My guests tonight, I'm happy to have John Drew and Mary Walker from Back-Breakin' Acres. Great name. That's a great name for farming. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Ashley.
I need to tell a story. When I go to the growers market, about 2 years ago, I went to the growers market and I had just left your stall, coming away with good tomatoes and onions and green beans. And I heard something as I was walking away that I'd never heard before at the growers market. And you need to have the picture here that, you know, there's people walking with baskets with flowers and food and chatting with each other. I mean, it's a wonderful community event, but I had never heard this before. Listen with me.
I start?
Yeah.
I mow the lawn it doesn't mow me. I like to mow the lawn it doesn't mow me. 'Cause when I'm mowing the lawn, the mower dances with me. I like to graze in the garden, I could graze there all day long, just pulling weeds. I like to graze in the garden, I could graze there all day long, eating carrots. 'Cause when I'm not in the garden, believe me, I'm inside watching TV. I got plans.
Oh,
Thank you.
wasn't obviously this performance, but you and your cohorts singing for us. It was like I sat on the lawn and just had a concert, and the kids enjoyed it with me. Thank you for bringing us such fun.
Yeah.
So you're also hard workers. I mean, you're talking about grazing and stuff. Tell us a little bit about Back-Breakin' Acres. How much land do you have? What do you grow?
Back-Breakin' Acres is in Chicago Park, and it's a 40-acre certified organic farm. Currently, we have about 10 acres in production. I've been farming there now for 38 years at this location, and actually, I've been farming almost 60 years total so far. Yeah, so this was, we really enjoy it out there. It's a beautiful place to farm.
Why don't we take a little tour so that everybody gets to see it with us? What do we got here?
A few years back, Nevada County Farm Bureau conducted an agricultural tour in the county, and this is actually a picture of Melvin Brown's farm out in Penn Valley. It was one of the tour sites that we went to, and they've been farming out there for over 100 years. This is a picture of some of our production just coming in out of the field. These are early girl tomatoes and some extra sweet corn in the back. This is just the afternoon before we're headed off to market the next morning, Saturday morning at the fairgrounds in Grass Valley. This is actually at the location in at the fairgrounds. And I don't know, when people come to the growers market, they really have fun. it's enjoyable to buy fresh vegetables and all of that, but it is really a fun event to be at the growers market. This is a close-up of the tomatoes. These are unretouched photos. This is just actually as they appeared,
beautiful.
and very striking quality. We grow almost all of the row vegetables out at the farm. And this is another picture of one of the agricultural tours that Farm Bureau puts on. That's Mel Brown there in the background. As I said, Mel's family's been farming in the neighborhood for about 100 years. This is a tour that we're conducting on the farm. A lot of the schools from around the area like to bring the students out to the farm to show them what's going on. And this is just one of the tours that we're having. This is a little younger group that we had, and we took this picture. The students have so much fun out at the farm. They actually make the connection of where the food comes from. Up to that point, of course, it comes from the grocery store, but once they're at the farm, that's just great. This is a picture of my 3 grandchildren down visiting from Alaska. They went to market with us on a Saturday morning, and they helped us pick on a Friday afternoon. These are some of the flowers, gladiolas, that Mary grows in one of the gardens. Flowers do very well up here. One of the things that's good about being up here in Nevada County is we have a very high quality, abundant water supply. Nevada County is blessed with one of the best watersheds in the state, and the Nevada Irrigation District takes that surface water and delivers it to the farmers. 90% of the water that Nevada Irrigation delivers goes to agricultural operations, or raw water deliveries.
So that's not something to worry about as much as other things in terms of keeping our farmers going. We've got water.
No, I think that's one of the things that is a real positive that makes agriculture in Nevada County viable.
So what is it that you'd like to see happen so that agriculture is on a good, solid base in our county? What can we do to help make sure we have our farmers stay, and even better, have more farmers farming? What can we do?
Well, one of the most important things, and the thing that I've been working on most recently, is to get the agencies within the county, that's Nevada County itself, both of the city municipalities, and the other agencies that are in the county, get them all together and get them behind the agricultural movement in Nevada County. We need the support of not only the customers that come to the market to buy produce, but we need support of the agencies, the governmental agencies within Nevada County.
Doing what? I mean, what would you want them to do?
Well,
Give me your ideal picture.
No, that'd take too long. Well, as an example, the city of Nevada City every year, at least recently, allows the growers market to set up in Nevada City at no charge. They provide a location for the growers market to come. They close off the streets for us. They make that site available for us. That's a kind of example that we're looking for. There's a bunch of other folks in the county that are also supportive. SPD markets are very supportive of agriculture in Nevada County and buy from a lot of the local producers. The folks over at the fairgrounds, at the Nevada County Fairgrounds, have made a space available to the market ever since 1980, I believe. This is going to be our 26th year in the growers market, located at the fairgrounds. And the folks over there at the fairgrounds really bend over backwards to help us. It's that kind of help and cooperation and networking that's really going to make the difference for agriculture in Nevada County.
Is there more that you'd like to see happen in that same direction? For example, I know that you do the growers markets on Saturdays in the growing season, and in Nevada City one afternoon.
Well, we do a Saturday at the fairgrounds, and then Monday we do a market at the farm, and we also do a market in Lake of the Pines. Tuesday afternoon we do a market in Nevada City, and Tuesday morning we do a market in Truckee. Wednesday we do a market in Colfax. Thursday we do a market in Penn Valley, and Friday mornings during the hot summer months, August and September, we do a morning market in Nevada City. So we are doing 8 markets a week during the summer. Sometimes Mary's going to one and I'm going to another. We're going opposite directions. We catch up with each other in the afternoon.
Wow.
It's just
wow.
go,
That's
Yeah.
all the time. I mean,
Yeah,
because
all
you're
the time.
picking for each of those markets,
Yeah.
what, each day or the day
Every day.
before?
Every day, twice a day, morning and night.
Have you ever guessed how many people you feed? I mean, have you ever had a sense of that, in the summer, in the week?
You know, it's in the thousands for backbreaking. We feed thousands of people.
What do you like about going to the growers markets? I mean, that's a real commitment to be on the road and doing that every week like that.
The socializing, the talking with the customers. Otherwise, you're out in the fields, and that's where I write songs because you're not seeing anybody else.
I imagine you have people that come back that are like a loyal following.
Yes.
We've
But you do.
we've had some customers now for 20. We've been going to the growers market for 24 years, even though it's been open for 26. And we've seen babies born. We've seen folks come and go and pass. You know, we've lost customers. But it is really the neatest thing to be in that atmosphere on Saturday morning. You can smell the coffee and you can hear the chit-chat in the background, and folks buying fresh food is a really good thing, an inherently good thing.
You find people carrying their baskets with their produce and the plastic bags they're using over again, and the little kids running around just so happy. And it isn't, tell us a little bit more, describe it for folks, because this isn't just fresh fruits and vegetables. There's more products than that.
The Nevada County Growers Market, we have the widest selection of products available of any other market in Nevada County. We have soaps, we have cheeses, we have meats, we have art products, a lot of art. We have nursery products. Of course, we have fresh produce. We have berries. We have fruit. We have fish. We have
bread.
Flowers. We have bread. Lots of different kinds of
Olive
things.
oil.
Olive oil. We have
sometimes.
some really. As a matter of fact, our olive oil provider, their company has won Best of Show in California 2 years in a row for their olive oil. The best in the state is available. Absolutely.
Go
the best.
team, yeah. You had a picture there with your beautiful tomatoes with this symbol of gold in ag, which I think golden ag is a great pun because, of course, we're in the gold country.
Yes.
But tell us about this. You brought some
Well,
display
two of
art
the
here.
things
Tell
that
us about it.
or a few of the things that we have here. Golden ag came out of a concept that was a necessity to develop a marketing concept for agricultural products in Nevada County. 150 years ago, the most important product in the county was gold. Now it's not the most important product. The most important product for maintaining our quality of life in Nevada County is agriculture. So the gold now is in agriculture. That was the concept. And on this example here, Nevada County agriculture creates healthy communities. Not only does it keep our environment in a healthy state, maintaining that habitat, but also keeps the folks living in the county healthy. The healthiest societies are those that are closest and have the most intimate relationship with their food supply. And that's just an example. One of the ways to keep Nevada County beautiful is to protect and preserve the agriculture that we have now in our county. Okay, we're over here, so but I can't
Yeah,
see it.
right, that's okay.
So I'll look up there. But I don't see it right now.
It's okay. We're talking.
Okay, all right.
Keeping it beautiful.
Okay. Once agriculture, if agriculture is not successful, then most typically it's replaced by rooftops. And of course, they build beautiful houses, but it's not as beautiful as that agricultural scene that we're looking at there. And one of the reasons that a lot of folks move to this area is, of course, these wide open spaces, the agricultural, the beautiful rural scenes, and all of that pastoral beauty that we have here. And agriculture is really, it holds it all together.
Well, you have the beautiful colors in the orchards and the vegetables and the fruits. I mean, it's truly beautiful. we saw that Placer County has a little poster saying something like, if you love the view, eat from local farmers who are keeping that view beautiful for us.
That's a parallel. That's a parallel concept, and equally as important. One of the things that Nevada County Growers Market has done in the last year is we have done a cooperative market with the Foothill Farmers Market, which is in Placer County. So here's two agricultural groups coming together to do a joint market, so that both Placer County and Nevada County are benefiting by the agricultural.
How does that work? I mean,
well,
practically.
We set it up. We set up the market at Lake of the Pines, and we have an equal number of growers from Placer County coming, and an equal number of growers coming from Nevada County. You're approximately equal, so the folks down there can share in that bounty.
Are they bringing us food that we can't grow up here? I mean, is that part of the balance here?
No, ironically, it's virtually the same.
Okay.
A lot of the folks in Placer County are in the same topographical type countryside as we are here in Nevada County. So they grow the same things. A lot of the growers we know and share the same ideals.
So if you want the folks in Nevada County, one really good take-home message here, because we've just got a couple minutes. What do you want of those of us that are living here? What do you want us to get?
Well, most of the folks in this room are already going to the growers market, so we thank you for that. But everybody in the county should be aware of the importance of maintaining a healthy agricultural community in our county. And in doing that, we protect the quality that most folks come here for.
Which takes us to our last notion here, which is for people to buy the local agricultural. At the growers markets, at SBD, at the Briar Patch, at California Organics. So
Natural Selection.
Natural Selection, great.
What's the other one down on East Main Street? Is that Natural Selection?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the same folks.
So one last little bit, we're going to get to have a little bit dessert. I forgot to mention, these came from your garden.
These came from the garden. This lettuce that you have here is an almost mature oak leaf lettuce, which is of course a beautiful specimen. It's got about another week to go, but a very high quality lettuce. And then these two examples here are delicata squash, and I might point out to the viewers that these squash are almost 5 months old.
Really?
Since they were harvested, and they've been in storage in just where it's dry, no moisture, and plenty of airflow around the squash. Now this squash now is actually sweeter than when it was picked.
Wow.
Yeah. And the quality is still #1 AAA.
So for the dessert on the dessert, we're going to ask Mary if she can give us a closing song.
Sure. My man, he takes me on the scenic route through the compost pile. It has its own allure, but it's just his style. And all the while I'm dreaming of the fruits to bear. I'm trying not to look at all the waste out there. Oh, the compost pile, it makes me smile. Opens up my senses, where waste and time heat a love so fine it's been known to burn down fences. I go dizzy, I get faint, maybe I'm knocked out, maybe I ain't, but there's no denial when we spread that pile, it's love. Compost style, it takes my breath away, love, compost style.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Brought that sitting.
That's a true story.
Going through the compost piles in the truck.
That's a true story.
I think we've got a new market here for ag songs.
Yeah. Ag
Right?
songs.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you for being our
You're
guest.
Thanks
so
for
welcome.
asking us.
Yeah.
For enjoying this. This is Peak Moment. I'm Janae O'Donnellson, and we're happy to have you join us for next episode of Peak Moment, Community Responses for a Changing Energy Future. Good night.
I mow the lawn, it doesn't mow me. 'Cause when I'm mowing the lawn, the mower's dancing with me. Yes, when I'm mowing the lawn, my soul is free. Do, 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 do.
Thank you.